Hi there, Cosmic Family. My name is Eliali in this incarnation, and I am here today to talk about Neptune in Aries. This is a big deal in astrological terms. And first of all, before giving the dates and developing this topic, I wanted to explain the concept of the chosen ones that I shared before, but it is very important to transmit the vision of this because this is not about selected people by external entity. Somehow we are all contained in this creative energy that is experimenting itself. But chosen one is people that are taking the opportunity to listen their own call of the heart, of the soul, to open up, to open the way in their own experience. So this is the thing. Somehow it is also difficult to talk about Neptune in Aries without a Saturn in Aries because they are going to be in conjunction the whole 2025. But today I'm going to focus only in Neptune, and then we are going to expand in the transit of both of them. Well, therefore, I'm going to give the dates because on March 30th, Neptune enters in Aries for the first time. And this is a big deal because Neptune takes 165 years to go through the entire zodiacal wheel. So we are beginning a new era. This is the beginning of something very, very important for humanity and for the planet too. This is an important time. And well, on May 25th, it is Saturn, the one that enters Aries. Then they are going to be both retrograde in July, and they return to Pisces on September. It does Saturn on October and Neptune. By the end of the year, by the end of 2025, they both become direct, and then in January Neptune and in February Saturn, they both return to Aries, and the exact conjunction occurs, but they are going to be the whole year in conjunction. I'm going to repeat this probably in the next video, in other videos, but well, the exact conjunction is going to happen on February 20th of 2026 in the degree 0 with 44 minutes. So there is what happens, the big event. Of course, we are going to feel this way before. Neptune is going to stay in this sign until March of 2039. So because of the retrogradations and the movements that Neptune is going to do. It was very difficult for me to make this video of Neptune at first instance because it is very difficult to put words to Neptune because this is the transpersonal planet that belongs to the energetical realms. It is about the infinity, the unity, the compassion, the love, the empathy, sensitivity, the ideals too, intuition, redemption, which is a concept very, very influenced by religions, because this redemption was understood by this salvation by something external. But right now we are understanding quite good, I think, that this refers to a process to the return to the source, the connection with the creative energy that emanates everything. So Neptune, more touched and more colored by the aspects of the ego that we incarnating here. It is also linked with idealizations, chaos and confusion, apathy, suffering, disconnection from life. Also Neptune, it is a planet very, very linked with the arts, the symbolic, the universe of the symbolic, the music, the oceans, the waters. It is also part of the energy of Neptune, and it is entering in a sign in Aries, which is a sign very associated to the identity, to the I, the experiences that are opened for the first time. It is a pioneer energy, an initiator. It is a sign of going into new territories. It is conquer the world, conquering new territories in a symbolic or literal way, because it also It was also synchronic in the past with these kind of things, with reorganization of territory. The last time that Neptune was in Aries was from 1860 to 1871. So 1000. I was expressing, it is the effect of Neptune. So during that time, for example, in the United States, it was a moment of a lot of wars, of reorganization of territory, and also of ideas of how the territory should be, how the leadership of the territory should be taken. Not only United States, also in other places. So I'm not going to deepen in that right now. Perhaps I'm going to do in other videos, or perhaps not. But the thing is that Aries is about bravery, action, independence, and leadership. These things are very, very important, which are things that somehow they are not quite aligned with Neptune, because Neptune is a planet that goes beyond the identity. It is this effect of dissolution of the ego, but we have to understand that the dissolution of the ego is an effect, a consequence of revealing ourselves in the infinite, which also represents Neptune. It is not the rejection of the identity. It is not the rejection of aspects of our identity or the projection that we could do on the outside. So it is tricky. It is a tricky energy, because beyond that, we chose this identity to incarnate that identity in here with a function. So when I was thinking about Neptune today, I was thinking about these waves. We have to contain the identity, to integrate the identity as the water contains everything. When we have a wave that is a wave that is about to break, it is not choosing, I'm not going to touch that stone, that fish, that the water embraces everything. We are in this energetical ocean contained by this infinite energy. But these waves could also be a representation of the moments where we are dealing with the Neptunian energy, and when we are not seeing quite clearly, and we are perhaps having a crisis of sense because we don't know which is the direction. There is an excess of sensitivity of water. Well, Neptune has its challenges. I'm going to develop more about this. So we don't have to confuse this quality of Neptune, of the ideal, the compassion, and the empathy with delirium, because delirium is another expression of Neptune. The delirium of making our own perception the universal reality. This is an expression that could take through the aspects, the identities that we make with our ego. So I'm going to give an example, because some time ago, 2 years ago, I shared a video with a very bad English that I'm still improving, but I shared this video talking about the gray men. You can look up for it in the reproduction list, talking about this channeler. I think that is a prophet of these times, Parravicini. And well, here in Argentina, there are a lot of people that are assuming this identification with that character, perhaps because they believe that they have to save someone or something, or perhaps they want to perceive themselves or the environment from their ideals. And I am not saying this attacking those people, because somehow we have all done this. I mean, I'm going to give another example in here, because when a person chooses to stay in a relationship in which that person, it is not feeling good, and it cannot grow spiritually, waiting for the other to fit in the ideal of perception that person is sustaining. I mean, that person, it is attaching to a perception because he or she don't want to face a reality that feels very, very hard, very, very tough. And here is the danger of the victimization and the sensitivity, the Neptunian sensitivity, that could leave us sustaining things that are causing harm to us, in this illusion that we don't have power of choosing. So people that have a strong Neptune in their natal charts, a strong Neptune is aspects with the Sun, with the Moon, with Venus, with Mercury, personal planets, or in angular houses 4, 7, 1, 10. Well, people that have a strong Neptune, they are going to have the tendency to experiment this, certainly, and the different colors of Neptune, as much as they are integrating this energy. And people that have been excessively rational and structured in their identities at this transit could make them questioning everything, to open themselves to a new revelation of who they are, which is something very uncomfortable. But this is going to happen to all of us in some level. So returning to the delirium thing, and the perception of redemption, Hitler was a man that believed that the area, I don't know if it is called this way in English, but that race that he believed that had supremacy had to be protected, because that was a contribution with the evolution of humanity. So that man was thinking that he was doing something for the contribution of the evolution of humanity, without, of course, caring about the medium, the means that he was using to sustain his ideas. So it is very, very important to not turn leaders into new religions, because the leaders that these times are invoking, this is an offering that we are going to choose if we are going to take it or not from the illusion of free will. So the leaders are a lot. The leaders are all of us. And the most important thing in here is to know that we have to take that we have to observe a lot, and to be very aware of this thing, making our perceptions and beliefs in which we have made identity, the ideal of what we think that is better for everyone, because that is the spiritual elevation or the unconditional love. That could be a distortion. And this is something that we have all transited to, even from our perceptions of reality, from our structures. The excessive of rationalism could turn into an idealization or a religion too. So the difference between Hitler, beyond the evident psychopathic condition that he had, and a person that is disposed to evolution, and the evident empathy that that person could invoke, it is that one attached rigidly to his ideas, and it took it to the extreme and to the end. And the person that has this position to connect with their own spirit, it is going to open himself or herself to question what he believed or she believed, being disposed to let go of whatever perception is distorted and doesn't allow us to continue the path. On the contrary, the energy of Neptune in Aries, it is going to invite us to choose what is connecting with love and with our soul, knowing that that is the better for everyone, without that necessarily being the most easiest way, or perhaps that is not responding to the ideal that we were sustaining, because even that could imply a sacrifice, which is a sacred office of something that with which we have identified, and that is not the same as renouncement to the own inner calling, because that leads us to the apathy and the disconnection from life. But well, it is important to understand this, because we cannot have the perception of the creative energy that embraces everything, but we can connect with that spark that inhabits us to make the next move. And this concept of levels of the soul that comes from Kabbalah, and I really recommend for you to search for this, because it is a very useful information, but I'm going to explain this in a very simple level, because There are levels of the soul. We have the physical level, we have the emotional level, we have the mental level, we have the intuitive level, and every level includes the previous one. Not because I am connected with my intuition, I am going to stop doing. Not because I am connecting with my intuition, I am going to turn myself irrational or leaving aside every coherence or logic. That could be other distortion of Neptune. The other extreme could be escepticism, for what am I going to do something? This world is lost. And the only limit, the boundary, we have many boundaries at certain points, but the boundary that we have, the physical boundary, is death. And until the last breath, we can leave a blueprint that contributes with other people. This is something very Neptunian. So turning back to the concept of the chosen one, choosing, to listen to this inner calling, this is going to mean very different things at different moments. For some people, this could be linked with asking for help when they genuinely need it. For others, it is about understanding that they can't help people if they don't learn to help themselves. For others, it is about stop denying the contribution that they could do because they are so self-centered, or perhaps because they don't believe in themselves. And here it could appear this confusion at the time that we have to take initiatives as a mechanism of protection, the fear to the uncertainty and the mystery of the existence, because we are moving to something that is not revealed yet. And that it is part of being humans and experiment also the energy of Neptune. So coming back to the ideal, the political or religious ideals that right now they are taking the form of theories in spirituality. I'm not going to deepen in that. Perhaps I'm going to do that other day. I don't know. But many of those theories are reinforcing the condition of victims of external entities when human suffering is actually produced by our own distortions, and the ones that we are projecting to each other, and the ones that we are producing, that we are causing to each other. So that's why it is vital to turn ourselves conscious, more conscious, more aware. But also could be a distorted expression of Neptune in Aries, wanting to impose those ideals and beliefs, because that's what I think that is unity. And truly ending up in expressions of violence against what doesn't respond to the things that in which I have made identity, or whatever person. So I think it is very important to take this in account. But to close this video, this has an enormous creative potential, and beyond that, I think that the limitant aspects could be linked with ideologies, turning back to the ideology thing that didn't work in the past. Artists are going to be so much important in this process, but this is about understanding that the artists don't need to be idolatrized. I think I am inventing a word, but this is not about keeping the idolatry, but recognizing them as channelers of light, of energy, that they are contributing to the environment, to all of us. And it is not the same, the things that are contributing. It is not the same one word or another. It is not the same one frequency of music or another that has an influence. And this is about understanding that this transit is going to challenge us to leave behind, to dissolve aspects of our identity that we have attached a lot. We have created attachments, at the same time that they are, both of them, Saturn and Neptune, dissolving something in Pisces. So many things are coming to an end and others are beginning. in a very powerful way, but this could bring a lot of uncertainty, because this is not about understanding how to what is on the other side of the wave. This is more about listening to this inner call why while we go through the wave. So I'm going to end this video here. Thank you everyone, and see you in the next video. Ciao ciao.